Schalk, you're playing number 6 this week. How do you feel about the changes that have been made against your northern rivals?
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously we're blessed in Cape Town. We've got a lot of good loose forwards. So I've been picked on 6 this weekend, like I was against the Waratahs. So I think, last week against the Force, I think we as a pack were probably a little bit guilty of not playing towards the ball or playing over the ball. I think so the onus is just not on me. I think the onus is on the whole pack just to play over and towards the ball and hopefully get us on the front foot.
Now, we know the magnitude of this north-south derby. I overheard you saying earlier you prefer playing the overseas sides, the Australasian sides. Why is that?
Well, I think it's just been like that always. These games are tough and attritional, and it's a personal battle, and we enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, but I prefer more playing against New Zealand and Australian sides. So let's see. Obviously now with the conference, the magnitude of this game is immense. It's a massive one for all of us to be a part of, and obviously, we're writing it up as probably the one that's going to decide the South African conference. So it's a massive game for us, especially playing at a packed Newland. So obviously, we're going to draw a lot of positives from that.
You guys have just come back from a tour. We know that you had to go on a little sort of detour and get your Laureus award. Congratulations on that. Comeback of the year. It really has been a remarkable comeback in all facets. Stormers, and I'm sure you've got an eye on the World Cup too.
Yeah, thanks very much, man. Yeah, it's obviously been given me a little bit of time to reflect, so where I was 2 years ago and where am I now. It's completely different worlds. So I've seen the other side of the spectrum. So glad I'm back playing rugby. So yeah, World Cup, that's in the back of everyone's minds. But yeah, I think immediate focus for us is just for the Stormers, and especially this weekend playing against the Bulls, a massive game. It's a game, I grew up on the stands, watched my dad play them. So it's great to be back and be in the position, to play against the Bulls. I'd much rather be playing than watching this weekend.
And being out of the game for the time that you were, obviously we have a lot of depth at loose forward. Coming back into the game that you love, how have you seen the sort of young blood around you, and what do you need to do to sort of get your nose in front?
Yeah, I'm not too sure actually. I think in this game you can't make the battles too personal. You're obviously up against some real good players, and most of them I'm fortunate enough to be mates or call them mates. So you just focus on your own game, and I think at the moment with the box, so many talented players. I think it's pretty much horses for courses. What the balance is, the national coach seeks for. So that's out of my control. All I can control is how well I've been playing the last bit, and obviously this weekend. And at the moment I think the Stormers, we had a good tour. We turned around in the middle of the tour where it wasn't looking so good for us. So now we've set ourselves up and we're in a position where we can maybe take a few steps, maybe climb a little bit higher up on the logs. So let's see what we can do this weekend.
Do you think your game has evolved? I mean, I remember there was a time when you used to throw yourself at everything. You had a lot more hair back then. You do a lot more linking now. Is that sort of all part and parcel of just moving with the times?
Yeah, I think so. I think obviously, you've got to adapt your game as you're growing older and as you take a few knocks. And I think when I came on the field, I was tearaway open side flanker, and you take one hit upon another and you try and win every collision. I think now you pick your moments a little bit more. It's still a tough game, and I think 2006, where I had my big neck up, then I started evolving at a little bit, and you've got to add yourself. You've got to round yourself off as a player. And I think if you stay the same, you're going to get stale and you're going to get worked out by opposition. So you try and improve as a player, and obviously not taking too much contact at the moment, although you can't avoid it. I think hopefully prolongs my career a little bit. But you can't run away from the physical side. This weekend, I mean, you can just imagine how physical it's going to be. So that's a part of the game that you've got to keep. So hopefully I find a good balance this weekend. So it's been going well so far. So.